Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. It's Christmas Eve 2023, and we're here in spirit and hopefully in a good spirit today after having some struggles over the past weekend. Sometimes we have to realize in life that reality strikes us whether we like to hear it or not. Sometimes we have to realize that moving forward with putting the past behind us and our past behaviors and what we have done in the past that may not have worked, and finally admitting that what we think will work will not work. There's a point in me that just has to realize that we have to put the past in the past, and the behaviors that it protrudes or makes for us, that we keep repeating the cycle again and again and again, and we keep getting the same result or somewhere near the same result, and we try to pass off as the same result. It's not always helpful that we realize it until others call us out on it. And then we want to blame others for it. But it's not good to blame others for it because it's really what we're doing to ourselves. We're really hurting ourselves. And, it's very challenging as an autistic adult to accept things that we don't want to hear or we don't want to believe that we want to hear because somebody is telling us that. Um, we want to have the freedoms that we want in life and not have somebody tell us what we want to hear, what we don't want to hear. But in reality, what they are telling us is things that we need to hear sometimes. And no matter how much of a struggle it is to hear that, they're only doing that for our own wellness and our own well-being and our own trying to get us back on track to where we need to be, even though we can't see it in life and we may not be able to understand. But if they bring it to us in a way that we understand and realize that they know that we're not ourselves and we're not taking care of ourselves properly, then we have to do it. We have to get back on track. And as hard as it can seem to get back on track and deal with the consequences that come that way, and be as challenging as it can be, there has to be a reality in life that you have to accept there's things you have to do, even though you don't want to do them. It's hard, it's a challenge, and but being in denial and continuing to revolve yourself in a cycle that is very unhealthy and is not proving to be well in any way that you see it, and just continuing to fight it and fight it and fight it and thinking that there's going to be a better outcome in the end is not doing you any service. It is, only making things worse. It's going to be harder to rebound yourself from that. When people realize and call you out on what is wrong, they're not doing it mostly to hurt you. They're doing it to help you, and not being able to see that or admit that or just understand that they're being that way to help you. They're trying to help you, and you're not seeing that. It can be challenging. You know, you don't want to hear things you don't want to hear. I admit it, you don't. I don't want to hear things I don't want to hear. But when you sum everything up that you've been doing that's not been right over a long period of time, and you see that all along they are right, and they're trying to help you and trying not to see things get any worse than what they are, then it's you have to do what's right for you, even though you may not think it. You may not want to admit that you're doing things that are wrong, and you may see things through a different lens. But when you realize and you accept it that you are hurting yourself, and you're hurting yourself, but you're in this vehement stage of denial about it because you're unwilling to accept the fact that it is hurting you, or what you are doing is hurting you and not helping you, even though you may think it's helping you, but it's really not. There has to become a time in reality that you have to accept the fact that it does help you. And in that recovery time from what it may seem that that you've done all the damage, if you keep prolonging the time that you're not getting back on track, it takes just as long to get back on track because it's challenging when when you get off track and then when you have to get back on, it takes just as long or as longer to get back on track from all the damage that you have done. And there has to be a reality of understanding that it's not helping you. Um, it just isn't. And no matter how much, whatever you try to do to help the situation at hand, whatever you want to believe or what you think is helping you, but it's really not. You're only surviving. You're only doing what is best for you, what you think is helping you, but it's really not. And eventually it's going to come out and it's going to show itself. And people, it starts in the small circles where the people closest to you start to see a difference. And then as time grows on, people do, and people start to notice more and more and more. And when it comes out full circle, full circle, and comes out, and a lot of people start to realize it, then that's when the problem comes the worst, and it takes just as long as it does to rebound itself. There has to be also a point where I have to have that reality check that I'm only living on so many chances and only so many chances to rebound myself if it would happen outside of a world where I only have control. If it happens in a world where I'm only on where others act, there has to be a reality that I have to accept that I'm only have so many chances, and if I continue to play this game that I'm playing, that if I do it in the wrong light, that it could be consequential in a way that I may not want to have. So I have to realize that even though I may not like to do something, but it helps me stay well, and it helps me keep in track, helps me keep in line, then I have to do it. And it may seem challenging or, may not be the thing that I want to do. Um, or I keep battling it back and forth, but there has to be a time when I put my foot down and I say that enough is enough. And I have to do what is needed because that is what people would want me to do. They would want me to be well, even though it has been proven for decades to make me well. As much as in denial as I am, I can be at times. I want to play the blame game on those who are trying to only help me and not see that not see what they see and not be able to see that I am really only hurting myself. That there has to be a reality check and say, hey, you're only living on borrowed time if you continue to do the things that are not helpful to you. That is why there is so much of, I think so much trouble in the justice system with autistic people, or so much where people aren't getting the care that they need because they're not getting the help that they need. And here I am, a person who has all the help that I need, even though I'm in denial about it sometimes. But it does help me get, there are things that help me, and being in denial about that is not helping. It's only making it worse. It's only sending me up to have things taken away from me. So there has to be a reality check, and there has to be an acceptance that I have to do what is needed, even though I don't want to do it. I want to do it because I have to accept that I need to do it because it's what keeps me in line. It helps me do the things that I want to do, and is what is supposed to be done, even though I don't want to. I had a hard time admitting it, or I want to pass the blame on those who are telling me what to do because it's what I think they believe. And really it's not. It's what is helping me, even though I'm in this vehement denial that I was in this vehement denial that it doesn't really help, but it does help. And there has to be a reality where I understand and accept that for what it is. um it's challenging, yes. It's hard to accept, but there has to be a reality that I'm only if I don't to do what is needed, I'm only living on borrowed time, like a ticking time bomb, so to speak. That I only have so much time, and the slightest change or the slightest upheaval will only set me into a tailspin that is very challenging for me. It will only cause upheaval, not only for me, but those who are expected to care for me. And it's going to come, and eventually, if it does not get taken care of on my own, that it'll come out deep and dark. And I need to admit what my mistakes are and just move forward from it. And, that I must accept that nothing that I think I can do on my own is not going to help me. It only hurts me. So moving forward, as we move forward into a Merry Christmas, we must realize that I have to let this go behind me and accept that there has to be a reality that things are necessary to be done, whether or not in the past I might have thought they were helpful, but they're really not. And no matter how much I want to blame others for it, that's not the answer either. There's a reality that I must accept that I have to do it to take care of me, no matter how hard I might think it may be, and how much in denial I am about it, or how much I I I I, I dance around the fact that I'm not doing it, or that I need to get back on track for more regularity and understanding of where I need to be. That is the goal this Christmas for me, is to get back and try to have a Merry Christmas for myself, for my followers, for everybody, and try to have the reality that you know, that I can put this issue that I've had for 5 years or plus to rest finally, and do what I need to do to be well for me. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and we will be back next week. But try to have a Merry Christmas. I'm gonna try to do the same. If you'll be sure to like and subscribe to this video if you haven't already. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at DustinsDynastyUSA.com, and on Linktree. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. Again, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.